Oh, good day. It's Dr. Rich Mclean. Whew, it's hot out. I've just come back to my squat where I'm squatting because I'm homeless. I'm a Doctor of Philosophy. I'm a Masters of Education graduate. I've worked for 25 plus years advocating for marginalised people in my work and advocacy. I've got a Human Rights Award. I've been an artist for 30 years. I've been an art teacher, academic support worker. I've worked for lots of people, the Herald Sun, The Age. I've spoken in Parliament, to Montreal, to Dubbo, to Warrnambool, and yeah, I guess I just want to basically say that there's a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, and it's trying to kill me. And in actual fact, I'm reporting a murder because it already did kill me. This oppression lasted for so long that I was persecuted so much and told that I had delusions of persecution, that I was locked up in a psych ward and treated so bad and deceived and framed by everyone I know, including family, friends and everyone else, that I topped myself. And it's not very pleasant to say, but it was painful to die, I'll tell you that. But look, it was successful. The Freedom of Information says if it wasn't found, it was a fatal injury and a lethal attempt. Therefore, this movement that killed me and desecrated me was a systemic and elaborate, intelligent conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. It was illegal because it victimised me, and it ended in fatality. Now, the movement to oppress me that led up to that point was very many years in the making, and after I was killed and then revived, I was rejected with squatting, no house, no car, no job, and no money, and I was bankrupt because actually I didn't need to go bankrupt because I'm a multi-millionaire, and I'm here today to defend myself because my life's a valuable thing. I want to keep it that way. I don't want to die. I want to have my basic needs met, and I still demand to be a whistleblower. You would think you can't kill yourself in hospital, but it happened, and you would think they wouldn't be able to get away with it, but they did. This is how. The Health Complaints Commissioner covered it up. The Mental Health Complaints Commissioner covered it up. They were actually caught biased with the bank of lawyers to oppose me, and even I went to the Victorian Ombudsman and the government, and they condoned that killing. So the hospital CEO, who I just atoned a basic, very minimal acknowledgement with that it had happened and the pain I went through, baited me directly to sue him personally. Of course, I'm banned from any litigation across this country because I've stood up for myself, and people don't like when you stand up for yourself. I'm also banned from all police calling 000, reporting murder, reporting conspiracy to pervert the course of justice and victimisation. You would think that's not possible. It is. And I've just proven it on this website, killim.info, because that's what they're planning to do. Or I've got evidence that they're planning to frame me. I mean, I'm a free man today. What are you waiting to do? Set me up with something until you can incarcerate me or jail me? Look, it is a perversion of course to pervert the course of justice. I've been rejected from the Attorney General. I've been rejected from the National Disability Insurance Scheme, and who's the head honcho? The minister. That's right. I have a brain injury because I can't think, because I lost all my blood. It's affected by hippocampus, and you would think that a person who survived suicide would get help, but it's been nearly a whole year, and I just saw my first psychiatrist 2 days ago. Epic care. And you'd think that would be impossible, but it happened. You would think that it would be impossible that I be roasted for 2 separate VOCAT cases I didn't know that I was framed for. That's because it comes from high above, but that happened. You wouldn't believe that a corrupt magistrate would say a sexual abuse survivor is doomed to fail, but that happened. You wouldn't expect that I couldn't then, with provisions in place to protect myself from any harm, had to leave work because I did the VOCAT case for one of my clients who was raped as a child and sexually abused. So I left work, expected my income protection to kick in. That didn't happen because as a person with a public label of a mental illness, of course you're absolutely cooked. So they owe me 75 grand. You'd think it would be unbelievable that I'm banned from calling them or contacting them, but but that's true. You'd think it would be impossible that I'm under investigation. It's true. You would think that it would be impossible that I've caught them out doctoring articles and stuff and fraudulently completing things and emailed the CEO that they would ignore me, but that happened. And you would think that the evidence I have of literally in those early days after hospital begging HCF and AFCA to please release the well overdue determinations that would have seen me out of poverty. They absolutely knew. They had me cooked and they had me by the balls. Now you'd think if someone is going to be homeless, they would act compassionately. They haven't. It was impossible. So AFCA, in congruence with HCF, have caused me to be homeless, caused me to be bankrupt. AFSA or ASIA, I can't remember which one it is, who I'm both a failed whistleblower at. You would think they would exonerate my bankruptcy because I had so much money coming to me. They they said, no, you failed to acquire the money. And I'm like, no, that's not how it happened. The system has corrupted with a systemic conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, and they've screwed me over. So, I didn't get my bankruptcy lifted. I just had to borrow money this morning to beg money of a friend to get my medication. You would think that it's a government's responsibility to look after its citizens, especially ones with such high, amazing, and helpful through altruism through very many years, speaking hundreds of times, having a film made on their life and art, having books written in Human Rights Award autobiography. I'm a good target for the government. They want to get me. Now, I get death threat to the door. You'd think I'd be able to talk to police about that. Can't do that. You'd think I'd be able to go into the police station and just ask, please stop this happening. You are absolutely torturing me. That didn't happen. They just walked me out. You would think it's impossible that work cover has waited a whole year. It's supposed to be in like 5 days or 7 days or something. To deflect, delay, defer. Everyone's got that thing. It's outside of their area of expertise. I can't go on. Anyway, work covers. The government who's already killed me has a representative as a lawyer to oppose me with Comcare. It's now gone to the AAT. I refused for the AAT to go ahead because it's $1 million case now. It's a TPD, and I refused to participate in that as a person who is marginalised and maimed in the head and who doesn't understand the legislation and doesn't have a lawyer. That's still going ahead. They're going to destroy me in about 5 days' time or something, and I'm waiting for someone to intervene. That's not happening. I can't get lawyers' help anywhere. I'm framed. I have every worker that comes to help me, they just disappear. I'm followed. I'm a good person. I deserve everything with sentience deserves respect and their basic needs met, and mine have been absolutely desecrated from me. I've begged the NDIS minister to release my valid payments. That didn't happen. Plan partners blame the NDIS blame them. What else? I'm millions of dollars worth on paper. I don't even need that money. I don't want that money. However, a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice is a crime. Victimisation is a crime. And I prove it unequivocally with evidence on this website. It's Rich Mclean signing off. A lot of people have tried to, in resonance, rule me and deflect and defer and rob me of any prosperity. It's hard to pin it on someone, but now that I've unequivocally proven it with the website killim.info, with all my recordings and such stuff, I'd like to please let that be known to the government. Either way, it's going public because you've already killed me, and a year later you're still covering it up and you're still trying to kill me by proxy. And you would think also that it would be impossible to have a 5-year relationship with a former ASIO employee who owes me $500,000 and be threatened with a hitman, have your car stolen, all that kind of stuff. But that happened too. So I'd like to acknowledge all of those things, just basically. They're just the things off the top of my head. There is more. I'm appealing to the public to please help me. The government's not going to. They have been my boss and ruler, and they have desecrated me. But now I have all the evidence, and I'm putting this out there either way. They're going to try and kill me, lock me up, or incarcerate me forever. I'm free. I'm pretty happy. I've got a beautiful dog. I want to live a simple life. Please, if you're in the public, can you help me hold the government to account? I'm going to go public anyway, and I deserve compensation with any extra money, which I don't even need, because I'm a Buddhist and like to live a simple life. I will set up a charity to help marginalised people in the future. Please help Human Rights Awarded me, Rich Mclean, Dr. Rich Mclean, oppose this injustice of a systemic oppression that ended in a suicide, which well could be described as a murder. And as the evidence will show, a year later, I have barely any health care. I'm squatting. I have to beg for medication. There is no care for me. They're trying to make it as hard for me as they can. So I suicide of my own accord. And that is the truth. I'm not going to. I'm not insane. And in actual fact, just briefly, when they locked me up the first time, when that suicide event occurred, I said there was a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. And when they released me, they had to admit that, oh, no, he's not psychotic at all. He's not delusional at all. They called it some adjustment disorder, which was only a thing they had to call it to justify me having in there. And so it unsurprisingly reconfirmed to me that it was entirely real, and I have all that evidence as well. So please bear with me. Stay tuned. Hello, government. You've been my boss and my greatest enemy. I've worked for you and society and community and people out of my heart and altruism for most of my life. And because I've got this evidence, now it seems that I'm your boss. Please help me, public, because the government's not going to. Either way, hope everyone's well and safe. Take care of yourselves. Check you soon. Bye.